backup cam. It's very simple process. Not that hard.
All right. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Marshall County Board of Supervisors regular session, January 14th, 2026, 9 a.m. here in the courthouse first floor meeting room. The board encourages the public to remain engaged, active through our Zoom if you're on Zoom. Notice to the public, the Board of Supervisors welcomes comments from the public during time allowed for discussion. You're requested to approach the podium, use the microphone, state your name and address for the record. That's used for our recording. And then the normal process on any agenda item is for the chair to read the item from the agenda. The board is given an opportunity to comment on the issue and or place a motion on the floor. An opportunity for discussion may be presented, at which time the public may participate, and a roll call will follow. We'll start with the roll call, please.
Heil.
Here.
Hibbs.
Here.
Goodman.
And now let us take a moment of silence to remember our colleague and our friend, Kevin Goodman. Kevin was a great friend of ours, a great colleague. We definitely enjoyed working with him. We enjoyed talking with him. If anyone got to talk to Kevin, you certainly got to talk. I think Paul was saying in our budget meeting the other day, it's like if he was going to go out on the roads with him, well, get another cup of coffee because there's going to be a couple, 2-3 hours. So, but in talking with his family this past week, his wife said that he really loved this job as county supervisor. He loved learning. There's so much to learn in county government. We're all of us in the room are constantly learning. But Kevin loved learning, and he'd come home and talk about all of his conversations, meeting with all the different department heads or elected officials, the people of Marshall County. And it's really sad that it was just 1 year for Kevin in this job because, after a year or two, that's when you really start getting the full grasp and getting to really grow in your leadership in this job. But what an opportunity it was for him to serve the people of Marshall County. That servant heart of his, if anyone knew anything about him with baseball, softball, how he just wanted to help. He wanted to help kids get better at the sport. He wanted to see kids thrive and succeed. And he wanted to see Marshall County thrive and succeed. And that's just exactly what you want in your leaders, and that's exactly what you want here at Marshall County is people like Kevin. So, boy, we're deeply saddened today. This is a tough meeting for all of us, but we remember the great things about Kevin, and boy, he was great. He was truly a good man. Truly was
A good public servant, and so we just really appreciated. He had a natural curiosity and asked a lot of questions. And not long ago, he reached out and asked, do you have some thoughts for me on how I can be a better supervisor and stuff? And so he was just always willing to ask questions, to learn, always very curious, very proud of his family, very proud of the legacy his family had in Marshall County. And so we just please accept our sincerest sympathies because he will be greatly missed, and he's got a legacy. We were kindred Iowa State spirits here, so we enjoyed talking about that too. So he'll be greatly missed.
I think it would be appropriate if we did now had any comments from anyone in here. Also want to share anything about Kevin today. We'll just do that right now. If anyone wants to come up and share anything, we're happy to have that. Kevin's son Christian is here today too, so our sympathies are to him and his entire family. Thanks for being here today.
You want me to go up there and talk? Or?
Yeah, absolutely. Yep, microphone's right up here.
Oh, I see. Right here.
Perfect.
Okay. I don't have anything written out for this, but I think that Wednesday was probably the first day that my dad had ever been late to work in his life. And our family would like to thank our local first responders at the county level and at Unity Point, the sheriff's deputies, and the emergency dispatchers for responding quickly and professionally to our family's call for help. I know, as a volunteer firefighter and dealing with the sheriff's department and first responders and dispatchers, that the men and women who serve our community, and we're lucky to have them, they're second to none, and our family is deeply grateful for their service. I want to thank the people of Marshall County for, trusting and believing my dad could do a good job of everything that my dad did in his life. He kind of come to make it look easy and a bit effortless, and I just want to recognize him, just all the behind the scenes work that he would put in at home or who he would reach out to. I mean, my dad drew inspiration from a lot of different sources, and unfortunately I wish that he could have got into this kind of role a little earlier in his life, but he was busy doing other things, farming and baseball and the things that he could still do. And as he was slowing down physically, I think a role like this was going to fit him a lot better. And I know that he was really looking, and I was really looking forward to seeing him continue to sit in this role. And every time somebody would call him, oh, I got a call from so and so, they're complaining about the maintainers, and he'd ask me, what do you think we do? He would he would bounce ideas off of me, and people knew how to get him going, and they'd call him and they'd start ribbing him about this or that, and he took it all very graciously, and he never took it personally. And I think he really enjoyed. I know that he enjoyed the phone calls when people would call and have questions and have debates about things, and he learned a lot from those phone calls. And I can't say it enough. I'm thankful that the people of Marshall County trusted him enough to have him sit in this role, and for that, I guess, thank you.
Yeah.
So I hope whoever fills this role kind of has that same level of curiosity and
Yeah.
anyways, thank you.
Thank you,
Do you
Christian.
want to present flowers? Christian, do you
Christian,
want to?
we'll present
Yeah.
these flowers to you to take with your family.
Thank you. I like the glove. That's a nice touch.
I found that in my
You would
basement.
love that.
Would you like it?
Yeah, it's right-handed, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Thanks for your help. Thank you. Thanks.
All right. Any other further comment? Thank you again, and Kevin will be greatly missed. Could you all please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Is there a motion to approve today's agenda?
I would make a motion to amend the agenda and approve it without removing items number 7 and number 10. Number 7 is discussion and possible acceptance of the EMS consultant report, and number 10 is discussion and possible action to approve previously discussed added services for the jail, sheriff's office, ARPA emergency exit stairwell. Those items will be added to the January 28th agenda. So I would make a motion to approve the agenda with items number 7 and number 10 removed.
I will second that. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Heil,
Yes.
Hibbs,
Yes.
All right, on to number 5, Resolution 2026-0006, Declaration of Vacancy of Supervisor's Office. Should I just read that? Okay, so I'll read this resolution declaration. Now therefore it be resolved, the Board of Supervisors expresses sincere condolences to the family of Supervisor Kevin Goodman following his passing. Supervisor Goodman served on the Marshall County Board of Supervisors since January 2025. He served Marshall County with diligence, compassion, and honor. The Board of Supervisors declares effective on January 7th, 2026, a vacancy in the office of Board of Supervisors in the position held by Supervisor Kevin Goodman. This resolution shall be in effect after approval and signature of the board chairperson as required by law, dated on this day, January 14th, 2026.
I will make a motion that we adopt resolution 2026-0006, declaration of vacancy of the supervisor's office.
And I'll second that.
Do we want to have Jordan can explain the process for filling the seat?
Yes. Could we,
Do you want me to?
explanation,
Do
you
want me
or
to?
Jordan, explanation of
Yeah.
the process set in the Code of Iowa of a vacancy and the process going forward?
Jordan Gaffney, Marshall County Attorney. So when there is a vacancy in the Board of Supervisors, and we've kind of already talked about this, by law, there's two ways that that vacancy can be filled: through a special election or through appointment. And by law, 3 elected offices and elected officials are on a committee that would appoint a supervisor in Kevin's place, and that committee would be made up of myself, Nan, and Deanne as a 3-person committee. And we did meet yesterday, and we do plan to send out a notice to the public of intent to fill that vacancy by appointment. If the voters would like a special election, it would take just over 1,700 signatures on a petition to essentially require a special election to fill Kevin's seat. And whoever either is elected to that position or is appointed to that position would have the opportunity to fill that seat for 2 years until Kevin's seat would become vacant again at the remainder of his term in 2028. Did I cover everything, Dan?
Yeah. If we do fill by appointment, if the individual chooses to run by a party and wants to be on the ballot in November, they would still fill out paperwork for in March as in the vacancy position, and so they would do that process as anyone else that would be on the November ballot, because the June election is really a nomination process. It's not a full election. It's a nomination to get on the November ballot on one of the parties. So that it makes it a little different. So they'll really kind of start right into the process there in March if they're going to be one of the 2 parties. So when we think about holding the special election, we could be looking at $15,000 to $17,000 if we do hold a special for the county. So it's a lot of the cost of the programming when it's a countywide election, makes it a pretty costly election, and they will be on the November ballot anyway. So
Questions? Anything else?
No, I don't think so.
Thank you.
Thank you for covering that.
Oh, Robert.
Person will have to be on the ballot in November of '26, regardless of whether they're appointed or elected.
if they do hold a special election, then they would not have to be.
Okay. So they would serve until the end of '28.
Yes.
Right, to fill out the term.
Okay.
On the ballot in November, it will be 2 separate. So the to fill vacancy will be 1 slot, and then the other will be the 2 open supervisor spots for a 4-year term.
Thank you.
Great. Thanks, Jordan. Thanks, Nan. All right, so we have that motion in the second. Any further discussion? We'll do the roll call, please.
So it's Heil,
Yes.
Hibbs,
Yes.
Thank you. On to consent agenda. 6A, approve previous regular session minutes from December 31st, 2025. Approve previous annual organization meeting session minutes from January 2nd, 2026. Approve claims as audited and authorize the auditor and recorder to issue payment of the same. Listing of the claims at this meeting and all claims paid at the current month will be published as part of the first meeting of the following month. 6D, file manure management plans, Elder Brothers Farm, Section 36, number 58297 at 15007 220th Street, State Center, signed with changes. And that is the end of today's consent agenda.
I assume that meant, they meant Edler, not Elder?
Yep. That's right.
Edler,
It is Edler. We have Edler in the,
yeah.
Manure
attachment.
management plans?
Yeah, that's Edler.
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah. All right, I will make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll second. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Heil,
Yes.
Hibbs,
Yes.
Skipping 7, on to number 8. Approve the transfer of funds, number 959, a quarterly transfer of $750,000 from Rural Services Fund to the Secondary Road Fund.
I will make a motion to approve the transfer of funds number 959, a quarterly transfer of $750,000 from Rural Services Fund to Secondary Road Fund.
I will second that. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Heil,
Yes.
Hibbs,
Yes.
All right. Number 9, discussion and possible action to approve a potential change order for Garland Construction for the Jail Sheriff Office ARPA upgrades. Lucas. Good morning.
Lucas Badke, Buildings and Grounds. These are some changes that the jail administration staff and myself have thought were some quality changes to our original plan. So we added a few windows to the project that were kind of borderline, as well as some changes to the new holding cells and our courtroom that we're modifying. So they're really quality changes, and I think it'll help the building and the spaces in the long run. And for what is it, $14,600? It's not a ton of money. It's well within budget. So, any other questions?
No, thank you for the report.
I will make a motion to approve put the change order for Garland Construction for the jail sheriff's office regarding the ARPA upgrades.
I will second. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Heil,
Yes.
Hibbs,
Yes.
Number 11, approve the $34,375 interagency transfer in opioid settlement funds for Heart of Iowa Big Brothers Big Sisters Memorandum of Understanding and Resolution, and authorize the chair to sign. Thank you, Jordan.
Again, Jordan Gaffney, Marshall County Attorney. So when we opened up grant application for funding through the opioid settlements in the second half of last year, Heart of Iowa Big Brothers Big Sisters also submitted an application seeking funding. These are the non-taxpayer dollars that the county has received through the National Opioid Litigation Settlements, which is a tongue twister to try to say over and over. Their application came to our committee, and our grant committee approved. As you no doubt know, Big Brothers Big Sisters provides mentorship services on behalf of young people and children in the community. Brooklyn, their director, is here today. They have requested $34,375 in funds through the opioid settlement funds to expand mentorship programs for girls and boys here in Marshall County, specifically those with parents and guardians who have been impacted by opioid use disorder, with the idea being that early prevention for those children who would be at most at risk through pro-social relationships with a volunteer big would be a valuable educational and preventative tool in this community. This opioid funding project, it's a little bit outside the box, but when you think about it and when you think about prevention, it's really important to start young and connecting somebody, a young person who's at risk, with a a big who can be a really valuable mentor and a guide for that person can be all the difference for them. And it has the opportunity to change the trajectory of a child's life. So I hope you'll support this project. I'd be happy to take any questions. I'm sure Brooklyn is better equipped to answer specific questions about Big Brothers Big Sisters.
Just a quick question. How do you identify which kids are children of parents that have the abuse problems?
You want to take that one, Brooklyn? Because it's
Yes,
kind of an
it's what we're
Yeah.
it's a good question.
Brooklyn Schlavine, Heart of Iowa Big Brothers Big Sisters executive director now, and it is a lot of the self-told through parent applications. So when we match up all of our littles, we do have a parent application where we kind of go through why they want to be in the program, and a lot of that is just disclosed by them.
Okay, so self-disclosure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you bet.
Great. No other further questions for me, Hugh?
One thing I would ask that you approve if you're going to approve this, approve the MOU and attachments and adopt the resolution.
Okay.
So just kind of a two-step approval there.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Are you here for the next one, too?
If you want me to just present the language, whatever's most convenient.
We'll do this vote real quick, and then...
Okay.
I'll
No,
stay up here.
I mean, unless you want wellness back and forth.
I mean, the steps count,
It is
right?
wellness.
I would make a motion to approve the memorandum of understanding and to adopt the resolution for the transfer in opioid settlement funds of $34,375 interagency for Heart of Iowa Big Brothers Big Sisters, and authorize the chair to sign.
And I'll second that. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Heil,
Yes.
Hibbs,
Yes.
All right, on to the approval of the $58,546 interagency transfer of opioid settlement funds for Prairie Ridge Integrated Behavior Health Care and Memorandum of Understanding Resolution as well.
Yeah, Jordan Gaffney, Marshall County Attorney. Prairie Ridge, formerly Satusi, also submitted an application when we opened up the opportunity for grant applications in the second half of '25. And they've been a trusted community partner for a long time here in Marshall County. We work a lot with them in the judicial system, and they have been a partner in our drug court program since its inception. It's almost 10 years ago now. This application that they've submitted is for a total of $58,546 in opioid settlement funding. It would provide for 2 peer support specialists who would work part-time at Prairie Ridge. And peer support specialists, these are folks who have walked the walk through treatment and a substance use disorder and are now in recovery for a sustained and lengthy period of time. And they would work in conjunction with a substance abuse counselor, really kind of to bolster and enhance the treatment services provided by Prairie Ridge. And what their presence and their involvement and their activity helps to do is it gives them a certain amount of base knowledge for what somebody with a substance use disorder who's going through treatment, they know what they're going through because they've walked that walk, and they have just a certain level of credibility that you might not have if you're a defense attorney or a prosecutor or a judge or a probation officer or a family member saying, hey, you need to get clean and sober. You know, it's time to address this, and we need to help you get better. So that person, you know, their words and their advice and their insight carries just that different credibility and different weight and would really enhance those services. The funding application includes gas cards. The gas cards would be used for the peer support specialists to attend groups and other activities for folks involved in treatment. A lot of times, folks in treatment will, you know, they'll have picnics, they'll have activities for families, things where they can get together and do stuff, pro-social activities, and those gas cards would help them participate in that. And this program would be beneficial both as a prevention tool, because you might have somebody engaging in treatment who doesn't has not developed an opioid use disorder, but could be, significantly at risk for us. So it can be a prevention tool, and it can be a tool to combat opioid abuse after somebody has developed opioid use disorder. So it's helpful and qualifies as those activities. The application also includes a naloxone or a Narcan vending machine. Narcan's the drug that if somebody is overdosing, a dose of Narcan, or sometimes 2, 3, or 4 doses, can reverse the effects of the overdose. And when you think of vending machine, typically we think of a large machine with just a ton of options, right? That's what you think of when you think of a vending machine, but that's not what this is. Our committee asked about that, and Prairie Ridge advised that it would just carry a small number of doses of Narcan, with the idea being that this could be the difference between life or death for somebody, but not that it would be available in abundance as sort of a crutch or just something that would essentially enable opioid abuse, because if you have dozens of doses of Narcan, that might enable abuse. So the opportunity is there for Narcan to be a difference maker without being something that would really enable the abuse. Do you guys have any questions?
I think, just reiterate for the public, what's the estimate amount of funds that we've received in opioid, and how we've received these funds, that they're not taxpayer dollars, that they've come in through a settlement?
Absolutely, and I had an update for you guys. I thought you would want an update. So thus far, since 2022, the county has received over $600,000 in opioid settlement funds, and these are non-taxpayer dollars, so the taxpayers don't pay these monies in. There were national court cases going on across the nation, and Iowa jumped in on the litigation nationally against opioid manufacturers and distributors, and over the course of time, the defendants in those cases have settled, and those settlements include payouts to all the different states that participated, and then the states divvy those payments up to the counties, and Marshall County is receiving funding through the settlements in that way. The settlement funds have to be used to support opioid abatement activities, so prevention or addressing opioid use disorder or combating overdose, things like that. Thus far, Marshall County, we have approved, and you guys have approved, 2 different programs through Marshall County Public Health. The expansion of the impact program through YSS so that it would be expanded into the county. You've approved Big Brothers Big Sisters, and assuming you would approve the program through Prairie Ridge, Marshall County will have allocated just under $300,000 total in programs designed to combat opioid use disorder. So we'll have assigned funding to programs that are targeted to prevent opioid use disorder for children in Big Brothers and Big Sisters, programs that lend a hand to folks in crisis, that would be impact, and programs that educate our community, ensure medications are properly disposed of, and build up the effectiveness of treatment services for folks who are at risk of opioid use disorder or folks who have developed it, and that would be the public health programs and Prairie Ridge. And these are programs that not only are saving lives and will save lives, but help people live full and rich lives and keep families together, quite honestly. So
Jordan, I think you talked about this last time, but so after these allocations, the remaining balance is what? And then what's our timeline for, do these funds, have to be used by a certain time?
good question. So we still have about $300,000, and we will continue receiving funds for the next 15, 16 years. So we'll continue receiving funds through the various payouts from the settlements. Some defendants in the settlement like to pay out. They may pay five years all at once to get that liability off their books, and some will just pay as they go. So sometimes we'll see larger lump sums come in at one time, and then a particular defendant, if they paid 4 or 5 years in advance, we won't see anything for another few years. But we'll receive money over the next 15, 16 years. And we don't necessarily have a deadline. The state hasn't imposed a deadline on us on when we have to spend it, just really what uses we can put those monies towards. So, but I think we've done, I'm really thankful for our committee and the work our committee has put into it, and our community partners who have expressed interest and really brought a diversity of projects to us and opportunities to put these funds to work right here. Because I'd rather see the money going to work right here and making a difference here than maybe kicking it to the state, because that's an option too, but I'd much rather see it get used right here.
Okay.
Maria has one thing to clarify is these monies, are committed when you're doing this, and then they bill their actual expenses to her, and that's how they get reimbursed.
They're reimbursed?
Yes.
Okay.
So, see, she's with us even, when she's not with us.
And I understand we have Prairie Ridge CEO Kelly. She's on Zoom right now. Is there any comment from Kelly at the moment?
Yeah, I just wanted to let the group know that as we move into hiring peer supports for Marshall County, we actually are going to employ full-time individuals, and we'll be looking at making sure that the only funds for those staff that we put against the opioid treatment settlement dollars is when there's not another payer. And so they're like Medicaid covers peer support services, and so the county will be actually gaining 2 full-time peer supports. And then as far as the naloxone goes also, I know that there is some questions. People wonder about the safety of it. Does it just perpetuate use? We also have the ability to do training, and so we will make sure that that machine is noted, that in fact people can get training from our staff. And I think about family members. It's a really hard situation to be in, to have somebody who you suspect is overdosing and not know what to do about it. So getting that access, but many times the $75 that it costs through most pharmacies to get 2 doses is prohibitive for folks, especially if they have some of the consequences of dealing with an addiction, such as not having an income or not having a sufficient income. So I am open for any questions that you all have in regards to our proposal.
I don't have any.
Any questions, anyone?
Just on this one, the same way, if you do determine to approve the MOU and adopt the resolution, please. Thank you.
No questions here for you. Kelly, thank you for much for being on this meeting today and all the work you do at Prairie Ridge.
Thank you.
All right. I will make a motion that we adopt the resolution for the transfer in opioid settlement funds of $34,375 interagency for Prairie Ridge. Integrated, and that is $58,546 for Prairie Ridge Integrated Behavioral Health Care, and authorize the chair to sign and approve the memorandum of understanding.
And I will second that. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Heil,
Yes.
Hibbs,
Yes.
All right, on to public forum. Time set aside for the public to make comments on topics of county business other than those listed on this agenda. No action will be taken on these topics brought up in public forum today. The podium is all yours. Public will start with Auditor Recorder Nan.
Sorry I couldn't speak earlier. I did just want to share that I did really enjoy working with Kevin. I did not know him well before he started here. He did speak at my nephew's funeral, read the scripture, and that was the first time I'd ever really met him, but getting to know him here, I thoroughly enjoyed him. So just wanted to share that with the family, and he was just a fun guy to work with. And this job here is tough, and it's great to have people like that you're working with. So just wanted to share that with everybody, because now I'm in a little better state than I was before. And most people know I don't get very emotional usually, but this has been challenging.
Challenge.
Yep. Thank you, Nan. Other public comment today? All right. We are on to adjournment. Next regular session is scheduled for Wednesday, January 28th, 2026 at 9 a.m. in here, Courthouse, first floor meeting room, 1 East Main Street. All business to be acted upon. That session should be submitted to the County Auditor Recorder's Office or the Board of Supervisors' office by Wednesday, January 21st at noon. There being no further business to come before the board, this meeting is adjourned at 9:36 a.m. Thank you very much, everyone, for being here.